Good morning, team. Before starting actual session, if any questions you can ask me so we can discuss before going to the actual class. Any question? Achut Reddy, Archana, Gideon, Jansi, Pooja, Renuka, Sakshi, Chaitanya, Satish, Smita. Guys, anyone have a questions? It's not about technical, any career related. If you have also, we can discuss.
No.
Yeah, you have anything, Jansi?
No.
Okay.
Morning, everyone. Okay, so prior starting the session, yesterday we were discussing about the interview platform, right? The interview hub, which you can get from the KSR, right? So you have some limited options, but you will get some resume preparation options and interview preparation options there. Mahesh, can you please help us to go through that interview hub, maybe after 1 or 2 minutes? Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
We were looking around yesterday. I've just shown them how does it look like. Maybe
Okay.
once we log in, they will get more idea.
Yeah. Let me know once you are able to see my screen.
Yeah, it's visible.
Yeah, this is the tool name called ClearMyInterview.ai. It's a purely developed by the KSR team only. So you can able to go to the Google and use this ID, ClearMyInterview. So I will give the link also in the chat box. Okay. Go and log in. First time users, click on sign up. Click on your email ID. Example, your name, and you can give your number, and you can give your password. You can set your password. Okay. So then you will get a OTP for your WhatsApp and OTP for your email ID. Actually, I have this number already. Okay, you will get a OTP in this way. Once OTP is everything is validated, so you can go on the login. Okay, so I'm just login now. So this is our dashboard, guys. So in this, you can able to upload your resume and you can validate how resume is good, including ATS score, compatibility, readability score. Compatibility in the sense, like your resume is matching with any company's JD. Uh, guys, anyone, which company you are working, just able to let me know. Just random companies names also fine. Anyone?
Infosys.
Sorry?
Infosys, Mahesh.
EY.
Infosys.
Infosys. Okay. So example, I want to check Infosys data analyst at Infosys. Healthcare data analyst at Infosys. Right? You can see their JD. Okay. Copy the JD. Now we will validate our. Just give me a second. Upload your resume. Resume analysis first. I will upload any random resume, or else if you guys have your resume, you can share with me also. That's also fine. I'm just picking any one random resume. Yeah. Okay. I uploaded one resume. Analyze the resume. It's a data analyst and JD from Infosys. Now, system will verify how many skills are matching with the Infosys JD, how many skills are mismatching. It takes hardly a minute to verify each line, each point. Okay, you can see SQL, Power BI, all others are matching skills. Mismatching healthcare data analyst. This resume, maybe they are not mentioned any project on healthcare related. Some topics are matching, some topics are not matching. PLSQL may be not matching. STTM creation may be not matching. So overall score it's getting 65. Reason ATS score is less. The reason compatibility like a resume alignment is not good. So that our team will help to make the better version of resume in real time. So resume building we only will guide you people. At least we will consider 75 is an at least a score to present the profile to any company. We can see the skill gap analysis. It's a business analyst actually. It's not a data analyst. That's the reason there are some skills are mismatching. It's a business analyst. Okay. Healthcare data analyst. That skill is mismatching. Okay. It's clearly giving what missing so that we can able to modify our resume. Good points and overall recommendation what we have to do. Alignment issue. We need to be changed more into the data analyst, healthcare related data analyst role. Okay, this is the one. After that, to do an interview practice. Example, you are not yet completed your course, still running. So far, maybe you completed SQL, or else maybe yesterday only he started Power BI. In Power BI, maybe charts. Take it as a just basic charts. Question method technical. Now system will ask questions only very basic charts. Okay. So now I'm not on in camera in real time. You can able to on your camera and you can able to record yourself. Okay.
Describe the key differences between using a Power BI tree map and a sunburst chart for visualizing hierarchical data.
Anyone have idea? Anyone by chance? They join know Power BI a little bit, just joined again this class. Okay. Let me try to, I'm not that so strong in data analytics, but I will try to answer this question. Tree map is best for value comparison. Subtrust is the best for visualizing hierarchical relationships. So depends on this answer, it will ask the second question.
Explain the difference between using a clustered bar chart and a stacked bar chart in Power BI, and when you might choose one over the other.
Very basic level because every topic similar way you can able to do multiple practices. It will help you to clear your interview in real time. Okay, I will give very short answer so that you will get to know like what kind of results and feedback system is giving also. Cluster bar chart short values side by side, so it's the best for comparing categories. Where stacked bar chart combines value into one bar, so it's the best for showing total and contribution. Okay, I'm submitting for now. You can able to attend up to 20, 30, 50 interview questions as well. I can able to download my video, how I answered in front of the camera, and also I can able to view the report. Let me check view report. See guys, my answer and the score only 65 it's scoring. The reason the candidates correctly identify that tree map are good value for comparison and substandard charts. However, okay. So still it doesn't explain how each chart values. He just explained very basic. It giving the positive and negative feedback. However, the answer lack of depth and specific details. Very short answer I given, right? That's the reason. And it's giving recommendation where you have to practice. And later you can see what the question, what my answer, and what will be the feedback. So positive feedback it's giving, and after that it's giving the recommendation. However, the answer could be more precise, and it's giving recommendation. Similar way, you can able to do all the practices in your course: SQL, Power BI, Azure, and Fabric. All these 5 topics you can able to do one by one. After interview practice, we have a technical interview. It's a depends on the JD. Example, to you have an interview on Infosys. It will predict at least 40% questions from the Infosys. The same JD. If you change the JD, it will ask questions different again. It's overall. It's not like a only specific topic. Overall resume based. How a real time interview will work, right? Similar way, it will predict the questions and it will shoot questions. So before going to your actual interview, at least if you tried a 2 or 3 interviews here, it will be more easy to clear your actual interview, right? Any questions, guys, here? Anyone? Anyone have questions, team? Anil. I'm sharing this ClearMyInterview tool, and it's okay. KSR students will get a very less price, almost 90% discount. Okay. So I will share that link. Ritesh, I'm sending to you. Please.
Sure.
Maybe I don't have an access actually. You can send it in the chat for everyone. ClearMyInterview.ai.
Yep, I'll share.
Or else enable chat for me as well.
It is enabled, it seems, Mahesh.
Okay. No worries. Okay, you can send that link to them.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Let me know, guys, if anyone have a questions. I'm happy to answer now. Okay, Ritesh, you can carry on then.
Sure. I'll take over. Well, I'm sharing my screen. Just give me a moment. Okay, so maybe just to give insights about that interview tool, right? See, it's a product of KSR. So the one who is going through the sessions, right? One who are attending our sessions or one who is enrolled for the sessions going further, that tool is a paid tool. I mean, on upfront, we are clearly mentioning that tool is a paid tool. Now, you will get 3 interview options free. Correct me, Mahesh, if I'm wrong. First 3 interviews free, post which if you want to continue with certain limit, right? Now, there are different packages available. That's a separate part. But whatever package is mentioned there, you will get more than 90 or somewhere near to 90% discount. Now, 90% in the sense almost a very negligible value, but that tool is very, I mean, you can say it's very precise. It's a completely AI based tool. You will get all your answers. Your resume would be automatically updated. What all points are lagging, where what point needs to be mentioned, right? Where can we improvise that? Everything would be clearly mentioned, right? So that's the benefit of that AI interview hub. Now, I mean, there are few companies who have started using that. That is the reason we are also emphasizing that you people also can try, you people can also test that. How does that tool look? And maybe at the end, related to how we can proceed further, that would be discussed by KSR team, right? That's all about that tool is. And let's try to continue with our discussion, what we started yesterday. So once again, a very good morning and warm welcome to KSR Datavision. Now, in today's session, we'll try to understand that how business intelligence can help us to solve our problems. And what anyways, we started with the understanding of Power BI. Power BI is our primary tool. That's what we are targeting. So we'll try to download Power BI desktop today. And how do we use that UI? What is the user interface of Power BI desktop? That's what we would be discussing, right? So the agenda for today's session would be importance of visualization, where we have already seen the importance, but let's try to understand that how do you differentiate the visualization, right? There are not only 1, 2 visuals. There are a list of visuals which you can use, which visual fits where, How do we analyze that? Even that matters, right? You randomly drag and drop any particular visual, that would not give us the precise results. So what is analysis? What is specifically business intelligence, right? Now, analysis is present almost every field, but with respect to business, with respect to how this business intelligence will come into picture, that difference we'll try to see. Why Power BI? Why not any other tool? Right now, there are many other tools which are available in the market. Why only Power BI? Why not any other tool? That difference we'll try to see, and we'll also try to see how Power BI works in the sense the basic installation and what is the exact user interface of Power BI. Right now, I'll just take a small example in the sense a small chart which is part and parcel of Power BI. I'll just go to the next slide. See, this particular information, what you're trying to see, this is the original. Now, the original chart in this sense, this is a chart which I've picked up from the Power BI. Now, if this particular, now this looks like a table visual only. This, even though you can call it as a chart, this looks like a table visual only. This is purely a table visual. But if this same table visual, I mean, this particular same table visual, you might have read without any colors, without any icons. There are different icons which are present, right? You have cross icon, you have tick mark icon, you have flag icons. There are many icons which are present here. If you would have read this particular information without any color, without any icon, or maybe whatever formatting we have done, if you have read it directly, it would have been very difficult to understand. Although 90% people would have skipped this option. But what I've made sure in the same table only, now table is also one of the visual, which is a part of Power BI. In that same table visual, what I've made sure you can use some colors, you can use some headers, you can use some icons, which made sure that this visual, though it looks like a table, looks very intuitive, right? Easy to understand. Though you people would understand or not understand, but everyone would try to read what is present here, because that colors, that, I mean, whatever indentation you have made, it would make sure that human to read this information. So that is the importance of formatting your visual. Visuals, anyone can drag, anyone can have, I mean, get some data to it. But how do you make sure that visual looks more intuitive? That is also more important, right? So Power BI is not only about visuals, but apart from visuals, how do you format it? How do you make sure that business understands that, right? Now, if you share this image or if you share this particular visual, which is looking like a table, the only thing what the end customer might ask, can we have some different colors, or can we make it this color? Can we make it, maybe he'll suggest you from the, I mean, more a kind of indentation part, right? There are some updates. He will not ask you that what is this visual about. He can directly guess, right? These are the tools which are available in the market. Now, if you see, these are all the BI tools which are available in the market, business intelligence tools, or you can say reporting tools. So all these tools, what is their costing, whether it's a free version, whether it supports mobile, whether it has real-time analytics, what is it about, whether it has embedded analytics, all that options have mentioned here. So anyone can easily come up and read this information. But if this formatting was not correct, only the table was there, black and white, no, I mean, no color combination, nothing you have formatted, no flags you have added, no icons you have added. In that case, again, I said, no one would be able to read this. So formatting is also one of the most important aspects. It is not only drag and drop. It is not only about visual. How do you format? How do you make sure that it looks good for a business? That matters. That is all about business, or that is all about reporting. Now, let's try to understand with some other examples, right? So I have one more example. See, the same table visual. It's the same table visual, though the information is different. You have different mobile brands. What is their market share? Now, I'm trying to compare the historical data. I'm not focused on the 24, 25, even 24, 25 historical, but I'm trying to focus on 2 years or 3 years back. What was the market share? 22 market share and 23 market share. And what is their YOY change? Now, you would come across many such formulas in Power BI or any reporting tool going further. There are MOMs, there are MOUs, there are MAUs, there are YOYs. These are all multiple formulas, right? These are all aliases. You have abbreviations, like you have long forms for it. So YOY is nothing but year over year change. What is their change as per respect to the previous year and current year? So if I have given this table visual, again, maybe as a human being, if you're very understanding, maybe you know basic mathematics, basic statistics, for sure anyone would read this. But if I make it to a beautiful chart, now this chart is also part of Power BI. So a picture is worth of 1,000 words. You have written whatever information you might have. It might be a small information, it might be a very large table, very large data set. But if you convert it into a visual, if you convert it into a chart, that chart would give us more information, more understanding, because a picture is worth of 1,000 words. You have 1,000 words, you have 2,000 words, you have 10,000 words, but if you have 2, 3 visuals, anyone can easily guess with that visuals rather reading all that information. That's the powerful impact of any visual or any, I mean, maybe you can call it as a KPI, key performance indicator, right? So KPI is nothing but with respect to any reporting tool, we call most of the visuals as KPIs because the key performing indicators for any particular business, right? So this is the importance of a picture. This is the importance of a graph that makes us a huge impact on the business. Now, there are many such examples, right? So if I go on adding, maybe I'll take one more example. See, this is, see, I'll not speak anything about this visual. Just take some time, maybe few seconds, and let me know what this visual is about. So can anyone guess what this visual is about?
The particular people who are using the YouTube and watching,
Right?
particular age of people.
Yes. Now, see, though you may not be aware that what is this graph about, but if you have some axis information, like towards, now there are different axes, right? There are different axes. The one which is below where the age groups are mentioned, we can call it as a x-axis. The one which is towards, I mean, it's a kind of standing line where the viewing views are mentioned, the YouTube views, that is your y-axis, right? You have to just go back to your schooling days where you have learned all these graphs, same x-axis, y-axis. You will have two y-axis at some point of time. You will have multiple, I mean, there are two-dimensional KPIs, two-dimensional visuals, there are three-dimensional visuals. So there are many visuals which will come into picture. The only thing is, how do you format that visual? If you correctly mention the x-axis values, if you correctly mention the y-axis values, the information looks good, the colors are good, anyone can guess this information. You might have, I mean, you may not have written anything in the background, right? I mean, there is nothing information which is written here. Only this visual is speaking a lot of information, right? So that's an impact. Now, let's try to see how business intelligence really work. See, one thing, I'll just take an analysis. What analysis? I'm trying to do. A business, I mean, a data analyst doesn't only create these visuals, right? Though the visuals are created, he may not only create these visuals. Let's try to do analysis. A small analysis, I'll try to understand. So what is this analysis about? This analysis is about your cloud, I mean, one of the cloud service. So there are three important cloud services, three big cloud services rather, not important, because I mean, apart from these three cloud services, there are many other cloud providers who are also very, I mean, good in the business. But there are three important, or you can say three big cloud services like AWS, Azure, and GCP. Let's try to do the analysis of Azure. Anyways, we are working on anything related to Microsoft, right? Let's try to do the analysis of Azure. See, Azure has a good market, global presence across the world, somewhere around 60 to 70 countries. Now it's somewhere around 70 plus, not even 60, 70 plus. So if you see in USA, it's somewhere around 10 percentage. I'm trying to see, this is all about the revenue which is generated. If some amount is, I mean, what amount of revenue is generated by Azure across different geographies. I'm trying to give an example that Azure, whatever, if Azure is earning 1 billion, out of that 1 billion, 10% is earned by USA, 20 by India. This is just a small example I've taken, right? This is not a real-time data, but I'm trying to take a small example. And if you see all these countries, only China is negative. Only China is negative, and even in Asia, except India, the Asian market for Azure is minus 10%. I've just taken a data to analyze, right? So what I want to analyze, I just want to give, I want to take some answers, right? So let's see how this analysis works. Just give me a moment. Right. Now, how does this analysis work? Let's try to understand. Now, China is negative, right? The information for China is negative. The information for Asia, except India, is also negative. Now, what I want to do is, I want to do the average performance, right? As a data analyst, you should know how the averages are calculated. I want to check the average performance. Now, average performance in the sense what? A combination of all these percentage, then divided by the total number of countries which are clearly mentioned there. So I see there are 7. USA is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And all the Asia market, I'm considering it as 7 except India, because India, we have kept it separately. Now I'll just go to the next slide where I'll do the average performance of Azure. Right, I'll do the average performance. Now this is all about the previous data. Analysis is always done on the previous data, right? Not on the current data. So somewhere this is around 22 or 23's data. That's what I'm trying to analyze, right? So this is about 2023 analysis. And what I've done, I have summed up that values. Wherever there is a negative, the negative values will come into picture. There are total 7 regions or geographies which I've considered. And if you see, this is somewhere around 3% loss. This is somewhere around 3% of loss. Now, do you think Azure revenue is going down? Do you think the Azure revenue is going down?
Yes.
And why? Because it's a negative, right? It is indicating a loss. Now, as a data analyst, you should not always focus on 1 point or 2 points. It should be aggregated, but you should understand that because of that one single area, does it having a negative impact? In that case, see, China is negative, except India, the Asian countries are negative. The next question comes, will Azure close their business in China? Will Azure officially close their business in China? No. It doesn't make sense, right? Only because the China is having negative market, only because the some Asian countries are giving negative market, that doesn't mean that Azure will close the business. They have a good presence in US, they have a good presence in Europe, they have good presence in India, they might have good presence in Africa as well, the Americas as well, right? We have 2 American continents as well. It is not only that China is giving you the good result, right? Maybe somewhere China business is very limited, right? It's a closed economy. Chinese economy is not open, right? So we should not always focus on only one single point. You should understand because of what it is going negative. So what I'll do is, let's skip China and Asia. See, the loss is 3%. But if I skip that China and Asia, the gain is 14%. The gain is 14%. So there is a huge impact, right? There is a huge impact. Now, as a data analyst, you should understand this. See, it's a very simple analysis which I've done. I'll just go back. Whatever profit the Azure is giving, India is giving 20% is what my analysis. Japan is giving 15. See, Japan is also part of Asia. Even Japan is also part of Asia. But except India, in the sense, maybe except India and Japan, I've considered the other countries. If you see the Asian market, right? If you see the Asian market, India, China, Japan, and maybe some Southeast countries are almost Asia. The other countries won't give that much business, right? So if three countries are anyways available in here, the other Asian countries are very small. So the business which is generated from that Asian countries, though it is negative, it might be not that important for Azure, right? They're just having a presence. So a company will never close its business if something is going negative in a certain area, right? They are getting good amount of profit in the big markets. They'll always focus on the big markets. Small markets, even though that is negative, they will try to give some discounts. They'll try to improve that. They'll make sure that losses, gained. But they are not going to close their business. So businesses are not focused on one single geographical area, especially with respect to Azure, right? Azure is a global product, right? It's a Microsoft. Microsoft will never close a business. That doesn't mean if Microsoft Windows is not used in a particular country, they'll not close, right? They'll still have that presence. They'll make sure to, maybe not now, maybe next 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, they'll try to capture that market. So that's how businesses improve. So in order to give any analysis also as a data analyst, you have to think a lot. You have to give a justification that because of this particular geography, the negative is going. In that case, if you skip that, right, Chinese business is very limited. Now I'll give you the importance. What is that importance? What Azure has gained? See, what is this? Azure has different names in certain countries. Countries which are closed economies. Closed means they'll not allow the other markets, they'll not allow the other companies to enter their country. But if they have a very good, if a very big company is coming to their country, in that case, they'll only allow some limited business. Same is the case with Azure. In China, there is no AWS. In China, there is no Azure, though they have Azure, but very limited options are there. Not all services are available in Azure. So how can you expect the people to use all the Azure services? So the Azure service in China is called as Mooncake. There is a different name given to it. So what Azure has gained from Mooncake business, though that is going negative, right? Chinese business is going negative, but what Azure has gained, let's take a proof, right? Though Azure is going negative in China, it has a worldwide presence. So it can say that China is a closed economy. It doesn't allow any cloud providers, especially the US cloud providers, but still it is having a presence in China. So they can claim that we are the only cloud provider. We have that presence in China. AWS in China is recently they have reached, right? Somewhere around 23 or 22, they have reached to China. If you compare, the Azure is since 2014. Now, because of Azure, it has forced other competitors like AWS or GCP to have or invest across every other geography. And if you compare, see, Azure losses are 35%. Somewhere around 23 or 24, it was minus 35. But when it started its business, it was minus 70. From minus 70 to minus 35, there is a almost half of, right? It's double the size it has reduced its losses, right? So data analyst has to do all this analysis in the background. He has to understand the data. It is not only that, okay, this is negative, that means it is loss. No. Why there is a loss? Whether it has decreased its loss making entity, right? The AWS China is minus 45%, whereas Azure is minus 35. So comparison you have to do. Like if you're working on in any company, if they are focusing on any competition, you have to compare that. Okay, the second company which is behind me, there is a match, neck and neck match, whether they are up to mark or whether we are improving or whether we are making the market.
Oh, Ritesh, one doubt here.
Hmm.
So, how did we capture this loss minus 70 to 30? Is that
Okay.
because of the lack of users that not using the
Yes.
services?
First thing is, again, we have to go in depth of it, why that losses have been reduced. Maybe when Azure launched in China, there were many restrictions on it. Only few services were available. That could be case, right? A cloud, one single cloud can have 200 services or more than 200 services. So out of all 200 services, there could be a possibility that only 20, 30 services were available at the start. So people were not using, right? Until all the services are available, they'll not explore that cloud, right? So that could be one possible reason. And it had a very limited market presence, probably that case, right? So China is a very big country. I mean, a good amount of population is there, second largest populated country, right? So in that case, only 10 percentage of people would have been using. Now that 10 percentage increased to 20, 25 or 30 percentage. So number of people using have increased. In that case, the revenue will increase, the losses will come down. So there are many other reasons which you can consider for this. So as a data analyst, you have to understand this. Okay, this is all about analysis. This is all about going back and understanding the data. Right. So as BI engineer, as data analyst, you might be called with different names: Power BI developer, BI engineer, or a data analyst. All these names aggregate to whatever analysis we have done is all about business. And this is called as business analysis or business intelligence. With proof, we are saying that, okay, there are some negative trends, but it has improved in few years. Right, I'll just take a small pause. Any questions? Any questions here?
I just have one question.
Hey, Steve. Yeah, go ahead.
So, which means that if we learn the data analyst, we cannot work in China company, or
No,
we cannot apply to those company because of the services they are limited.
see, I am assuming that maybe at the launch of AWS or
Oh,
Azure,
okay. Got it.
at the
Okay,
launch, they had a limited options. Probably
okay.
now they have increased, right? All the services are
Oh,
available. That could be
oh,
possible.
okay, no problem. Is it only China? What about the other country like Singapore, Thailand, all those places?
No, usually, see, other countries won't have that. I mean, the economies are open, right? Anyone can come and invest.
Oh,
Whereas as
got
compared
you.
to,
Okay.
yeah, the other compared to China or maybe North Korea, if you specifically consider these two countries, yeah, they have that limited presence. They'll not allow the other companies, they'll not allow the companies outside of their geographical presence to come and invest there, right? Even though allowed, they have a limited access.
Oh, okay, guys. I see. Okay, no problem. Thanks.
Fair. So if this is all about analysis, this is not comparing any country. This is all about analysis. That's how the businesses come. That's how businesses invest. They'll never close any business because it is a loss-making entity. If they are a very big company, right, they'll try to analyze. Okay, the losses were some 50 crores, and I mean earlier, or maybe some 50 million earlier. Now it has reduced to 20 million. Yes, they have improved, right? That 30 million gap they have reduced. Going further, it could be positive also. So understanding the business, understanding the change is important. Now, the example what we discussed is all about the circles or representation which I've mentioned. Business analysis includes communication. It includes elicitation. Now, high level words, right? You just go back and understand. It includes enterprise analysis. It includes documentation. It includes solution evolution and validation. Whether the data is valid or not, whatever solution I've given, is it correct or not with respect to data? You have to go back and understand every aspect of it. And at the last, maybe the first step, rather last, the first step is requirement planning and management. I mean, this is how the cycle works. So this is the first step and this is the last step you can consider. You have to do all these circles, all this representation, a circular representation you have to follow for understanding the business. Right now, maybe I'll make it to simple way. I'll take one more example. The example which I've mentioned here, right? Requirement planning and management, elicitation. We have to do the validation whether the data is valid or not. See, if I take this, a chart, we have a name, we have a gender. And if you see, I mean, anyone can come and anyone can mention whatever gender they have, but they have mentioned it in the wrong manner, right? Some might mention the complete information like male and female. Some might mention only initials M and F. The other people are mentioning it in the wrong manner. Now, this is how you get data as a data analyst. It is not always that you will expect a very clean data, right? So if you get this kind of data, you have to convert it to this kind of data. Either you make it in a complete word like male and female, or else you make it initials like M and F, right? So cleaning is also one of the aspects of business intelligence or business analysis, right? Not always you can expect a clean data. You might expect a wrong data as well. So in that case, how do you make sure the data is cleaned? It is our responsibility. Now, let's take one more example. Let's try to understand how data cleaning has that role, right? It has that importance, it has that role. So I'll just go to the next slide. Here, name is mentioned again. And if you see, the age is mentioned. Now, I have asked age. It's a human tendency. We usually mention age in years, right? But if you mention it in months, if you mention it in days, there is nothing wrong in that, right? But will you work on this data? Yeah, you can work it. But the only question is, if you want to create any charts or visuals, there are different formats which are available, right? So you cannot create a chart or a format, I mean, any specific KPI, key performance indicator easily. Either you convert all this information to singular format, the format which looks similar. So I have to make it to this particular format. Right? Data cleaning is also one of the most important part of it. Business. It's a part of business, right? Business will not always give you a cleaned data. If they are giving you everything clean, right, that doesn't mean they are paying you, right? If they are paying you, you have to make sure that you understand them. You ask questions to them, right? It is not right. I mean, it is not wrong to ask any question. You can ask question that this is what the information I've got. In what kind of format you want this to be visualized? You can ask many questions on that part. Now, the first example which I've taken, this is about business analysis. There is one more understanding, a circular representation, which I'll show you. This is business intelligence. What is business intelligence? Once you understand the business, once you make sure the business is easily understandable, you have to create the intelligence out of it. Intelligence in the sense, you have to create the visualization, you have to manage their data, you have to do the data governance. What is data governance? Whatever information you are getting from different businesses, you have to apply a security to it so that anyone can come and watch. No, right? It should be only within that limited set of people who are part of that particular company or a business, right? I mean, you can publicly share it, but it is not good, right? Information of a particular company cannot be publicly shared. It has to be within the set of people who are part of that company. So business understanding is different, and then doing the intelligence out of that business is your part of a data analyst, right? These are all the end goals. The starting goals was this. Understanding business is this. Once you understand the business, what you produce, the output, what we are giving with respect to the reporting, this is what the output should look like. So Power BI is a BI tool. Yeah, go ahead, go ahead. Someone has a question.
Yeah, I was gonna say, um, the way you just say business intelligence. So now with the AI agents,
Mhm,
that now that it's trending, that
mhm.
AI agent can do the data warehouse, they do the visualization and stuff. Is it not gonna be a little bit tough for data analysts now who doesn't know the AI agent who's
Yep,
doing this job?
good question. Maybe we had a discussion with respect to AI in yesterday's session as well. See if you're attending today. See, I'll only summarize it to a single line. AI is there for sure. One who uses AI. See, AI will have an impact on the role of a data analyst, but it cannot take a role of a data analyst. Yes, it will have a direct impact. I mean, that you can say it's a very positive impact, but the one who uses AI, for sure, he will take your job. A person who uses AI will not take anyone's job. A person who uses AI will take your job if you're not, not upgrading yourself to any particular AI tool or any particular component which is helping you to fasten up your process or analysis. That person will take your job. You will be going behind. So you have to make sure you also cover up, you also make sure you understand the use of AI. Wherever is it possible, you come up the use of AI, use it. Maybe if it is taking 5 days of work, you can use AI and make it to 1 day of work also. So AI will suggest you. It will not create everything for you. Suggestions will make sure that you have, you'll get all the list of steps what you need to perform. So you can follow that steps and you can create whatever is clearly mentioned there. And again, I've said AI doesn't have the 100% efficiency. It has to be a human brain which has to go back and see whatever AI has given, is it correct or not. It will suggest. So a person has to come up, a manual intervention has to come up. He has to understand that. He has to create whatever is clearly mentioned. That person will take your job.
So pretty much you're the one who's gonna be talking to
Yeah.
the stakeholders, explaining them about the business analyst that you
Okay. Now,
showing.
yeah, roles will be different. Our role, if you're working as a Power BI, you will be a BI person. The business analysis, there could be a person who is working in between you and a company, which is called as a business analyst. That person is called as a business analyst. But I would always emphasize that you should also know this particular role. I'm not saying that you should be very pro in understanding the business, doing the analysis, but if you know basics of the about the business, it is very easy to create their information. Create some key performance values, which will be beneficial to give it to the stakeholders or end users. Our role is more about BI. Our role is not about BA, but if you do BA also, it is very beneficial for us to get that additional insights.
Perfect. It makes sense.
Right? Now, the one which we discussed, Power BI. BI is the business intelligence. It can analyze data, it can clean data, it can visualize data. Why only Power BI? There are many other tools, right? Tableau, we have Oracle BI also. We have SAP BI also. We have MicroStrategy. We have Sisense. We have Click. Power BI is one of them. There are many other tools. Why only Power BI? Okay. Let's try to see. See, these are all the features of Power BI. I'll not read them. I'll just go through it a glance, right? If you just go through it, it's just a glance. But let's try to see, I'm not sure how many of you are aware about a company called as Gartner. 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 Whatever we have gone, I mean, since last 5 or 10 minutes, or maybe last 20 minutes, whatever we have gone through, business, understand the business. Gartner is a company which understands the business of different tools which are available across the world. Like it will go back and search that which tool is having a good market presence, why it is having a good market presence, what is making that tool to have an edge over the other tools. So Gartner also does the business analysis, but it is not doing business analysis on any particular business, right? It is doing analysis on the tools which are publicly available in the market. So Power BI is also one of the tool, right? So what Gartner does every year since last 20 years, it is not only since last 10, 12, 15, since last 20 years, Gartner is analyzing all these tools, reporting tools, maybe testing tools. There are some automation tools also. There are some AI related tools. Now, if you see, Gartner is also analyzing the Gen AI tools. Whether ChatGPT is good, whether Gemini is good, whether Claude is good. We have many other AI tools which are available. Whether Copilot is good. So for every tool, Gartner will do that analysis. They might have done analysis for reporting also. This is for 2025. Every year, somewhere around April or May, they'll release this magic quadrant. What they do is they'll do the analysis and they'll try to bifurcate their whatever tool competitors are there, right? This is with respect to reporting or BI. A person who is into reporting or BI can analyze this chart. This chart itself is prepared in Power BI. You can prepare this chart in Power BI. This is called as a scatter plot. This is called as a scatter plot. We have a chart called a scatter plot. Once we start with Power BI, there I'll explain how the scatter plot looks like. This is how it looks like. So this is reporting market presence. And if you see Power BI, there is no mention of Power BI. It's a product of Microsoft. Power BI is a part of leaders quadrant. There are different quadrants. 4 quadrants are there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Leaders, challengers, visionaries, and niche players. And if you see, I mean, let's compare this quadrant only, right? Leaders quadrant. There is a huge gap between the first and second. Microsoft is here. Now, what I'll do, this is of 2025. I'll just go back to 2016 when Microsoft have launched Power BI. I mean, ideally it launched in 2015, but in 2016, Power BI came to this quadrant. Came to in the sense, Gartner added that Power BI is a good product. Let's analyze that product. And Gartner is doing for all these tools since last 20 years, not only 10, 15 years, last 20 years. This is 2015 February when the Power BI was launched. Just maybe you can say it was not publicly available, but they just launched that product that you can use it, a beta version. And if you see, Click, Tableau are still part of that leaders quadrant. If I just go back, even here also Click and Tableau are still present. Since last 10 years or more than 10 years, Click, Tableau, and even Microsoft, which is your Power BI, all 3 tools are present here. Now, there is no MicroStrategy. See, there is no MicroStrategy here now. It was part of it. In 2015, it was part of it. But if you see the gap, Tableau and Click, and after Click, there is a Microsoft. Whereas immediately after 10 years, now it would be a very long decade, right? But this is 2015. If you just go back and check the 2016 also, 2016, the next year quadrant, even in 2016, Microsoft will be somewhere near to Tableau, but it wouldn't have overtaken the Tableau. But if you go back and see the 2017 quadrant, let me show that as well, right? Let's see, right? If all this analysis is done, let's see how does it look like. Just give me a moment. I'll show you that quadrant, that specific quadrant as well. This is of 2016. 2015 we have seen, if you see, there is this as of February 2016. Now in 2016, Tableau and Click are still somewhere here, but they came down, right? In 2015, it was somewhere here, but that market presence came down. Microsoft is again trying to give a tough competition for them. MicroStrategy is out of this leaders, out of the challengers, it is into the visionaries. The SaaS, SAP, Ultrix, all these are out of this quadrant. This is of 2016. I'll just go to 2017. You see, in 2017, somewhere Click came down, Microsoft increased. That means Power BI made sure that it has a good market, captured a good market, and it is almost competing. Still, it is down. I'm not saying that it is neck and neck, but it is still down. But if I just go to 2018, almost at same level. Power BI officially launched in 15. In 3 years, it is competing a tool which was a global sensation few years back, the Tableau. And if I just come down, in 4 years, it has overthrown that leaders. I mean, it has overthrown the other competitors. Now from 2019, and if I just go on continuing, 2020, 21, 22, and the 23, which we have seen. Now 23 is there, we have seen 25 as well. The gap has really increased. And it is still maintaining that gap. Microsoft is nowhere coming down. Tableau is moving a lot. And it is going upwards, it is going downwards, but it is not overtaking that Microsoft. So that's the difference, that how, I mean, easily market it has captured. Now, there could be a possible reason, right? If they are capturing a market, that doesn't mean that they are easily capturing, right? There could be a possible reason. So that possible reason have made sure that, okay, because of this, there could be some people who are easily accessing it. Now, what all that possible reasons are? Let's do the basic comparison. See, basic comparison. Tableau, some charts are there. Power BI, some 30 plus charts are there. In Tableau, at some point of time, you need to write some part of code to get the chart rendered, correct chart, something you can modify. Power BI that doesn't have that easy rendering, but it has many charts which are freely available. You can connect somewhere around 100 data sources, somewhere around 70 to 80 data sources only. Tableau has a small component called as Tableau Prep, which looks like an ETL tool, but it is not purely ETL tool. In Power BI, there is a component called as Power Query. So primary differences. Now I've compared every tool, not only Tableau, Power BI and Click, Power BI and MicroStrategy. If I'm comparing Tableau, Tableau is the next tool which is next to Power BI, right? There is no comparison for Click and MicroStrategy. But just make sure that I have compared each and every tool. You always have a good amount of benefits if you go with Power BI as compared to any other tool. See, I'm not saying Tableau is totally bad, but as compared to Power BI, it is not up to the market. That is the possible reason people are moving out of this. And the most important aspect for any business is costing. If some product, if you're offering something, not only for business, let's consider an individual, right? Maybe you are selling some product, any product you want to sell. Maybe you want to sell a pen. If a pen is being sold at a price of $70 and that same pen, almost same features, is being sold at a $10, people will always think, why not go with the $10, right? Why to invest 70? So costing is the one which Microsoft have made sure that no other tool is near to them. Now, Power BI was $10 until July 2025. From July 2025, it has increased its Microsoft, the licensing cost from $10 basic to $14. $4 increase. In last 10 years, for the first time, they have increased by plus $4. 10 to 14 is not a big increase. But Tableau is a very good amount. I mean, we are paying a very good amount for it, right? So that's the primary difference. If you see any tool, costing is always a big gap. Even Click has that gap. Now, for MicroStrategy, I have not clearly mentioned, but that gap is there for all the tools.
Is this charges are based on monthly or yearly?
Monthly. I'm comparing all monthly, not yearly. Now, this is just an history, a glance of Power BI. It was launched on 24th of July 2015. 11 or 10 and a half years. This is the 11th year. You can say more than 10 years or 10 and a half years it's been launched. On 23rd of July 2025, for the first time, they have increased the prices by $4. And this is not only for the basic license, we have premium license also. For premium also, they have increased by $4, only $4. Across all the licenses, they have increased it by $4. So you can assume that even though it was a market leader, Microsoft can say that we are the market leader. We'll make the $10 to 20, 30, 40. Even they could have made it, but they didn't still, because they want their presence to be available. Yeah, though they are increasing, but we want our people to use our tool. So marketing strategy, right? There are many companies who are using Power BI, many companies. And let me show you what all, I mean, prior going to what all components are there, how Power BI works. There are two services, or there are two components of Power BI. One is your desktop and one is your Power BI service. Desktop is where you do the development. Service is where you publish the developed reports. Right? So you can connect multiple sources to desktop. How to download it, how to work on it, I'll show you. But desktop is where you download it, and once you download, you do the development. Whatever information you want, you can do it there. And if you want to share that report to public, in that case, you have to use the Power BI service. Service is chargeable. Desktop is not chargeable. Service is chargeable. Now, what all components are there in Power BI desktop? Or maybe overall Power BI. These are the components. Overall Power BI, these are the components which are available. One is Power Query, Power View. Power BI desktop itself is a part of these components, right? We have Power Pivot. Now, if I show you this way, it's very difficult to understand and remember also. I just listed down the components. Let's see how do you make sure that you download this, right? So if you go to any specific browser, see, you can download it from Google Chrome also, you can download it from Edge also, you can download it from any other browser. But I would always suggest that if you're using a Power BI, go with an Edge browser. Edge, product of Microsoft. Right, so you just mentioned Microsoft Power BI. Desktop. You can mention desktop. We want to download the desktop, right? So you'll get an option here. Directly you will get an option. In Chrome, this option is not directly available. Maybe not available in the sense that you have to visit a website and then you can download. But here you will get a direct option because Edge is a default browser for Windows, and then it's a product of Microsoft. So if you just go to this, you can download it this way. Or if I'm using a Google Chrome, you have to visit their official website. This is their official website, whatsoever the size may be. For few of you, it would be 7. For few of you, it would be 8. Let's consider, see, go with the latest version. This is the latest version. 28th of Jan 2026 is the latest version. We are in the month of February. So January month, last updates have been released. You can download this. Though you download any previous version, you can still update it. How to update? If you have already downloaded it from the tool itself, from the Microsoft desktop itself, the Power BI desktop itself, you can upgrade it automatically. Right. So once you download, install it. One thing before going to download. Go ahead. Someone has a question.
Yesterday I downloaded from store, Microsoft Store.
Fine. It will be latest version.
Okay.
If you're
But
downloading it from a store, it's the latest version.
I have seen that Power BI desktop one and Power BI report builder, another one.
Report builder is different. For now, let's not consider.
Okay.
Report builder will come into picture for paginated reports. If you want to use paginated reports, there it will come. It's not compulsory now. Neither it is as beneficial as you go with the desktop, right? We will download it after maybe 1 month or 1.5 months. There, by end of Power BI, we can download it. Now, there are few conditions you have to consider while downloading this Power BI desktop, or you have to follow them. What all that conditions? If you have a 4 GB RAM in your laptop or desktop, yes, you can download it. But if you're having this 4 GB of RAM, if you are using Power BI desktop, close all the applications in the background. Do not use any other application. Any apps which you have, which are running in the background, close them. Close doesn't mean you have to close like this, right? If you have, maybe I've opened the Microsoft whiteboard, you have to close this. No, you just have to go to the taskbar, task manager, and in that task manager, officially end that task. Except Power BI, all the applications you should close. All in the sense, the apps which you have downloaded. Like if you have something opened in the background, VLC player, media player, or some other application you're using, close them. You can have your browser open. Browser is okay, but except browser, any application which you have downloaded in your laptop or desktop, close them if you're using a Power BI for 4 GB RAM. If you go with 8 GB, 16 GB, everything works fine. You can open the applications in the background. The reason why I always say that Power BI desktop almost occupies 3 or 3+ GB of RAM completely. So if you open the other applications, Power BI desktop will itself slow down. So that's the reason. I'm not saying that if you're having a 4 GB RAM, people should go with 8 GB, people should extend it. No, it is not required. The only solution is you close the other applications, use Power BI only application once you are, you're working on it, you're developing reports, only go with one application at a time. That's the only condition.
So you say for 8 GB, you don't have to close all the apps, right?
It's not required because you still have 5 GB of space, 5 GB of RAM, which can be used by other applications, right? If we is occupying up to 3 GB.
Okay.
So in case of 4 GB, 3 GB means almost 90%, right? So the other applications would always, if you open that, complete 4 GB of RAM would be occupied. So not recommended.
Because I have Python on the background.
I10 probably you might have 16 or 32 GB RAM, right? Fair. Now, once you download it, let me open the application. I already have this. Now, many will come up with the question that I'm not able to see what you are able to see. I'll show you. I'll give you, even I'll answer that. So you'll just open this, you just open a blank report. This is the original UI of a Power BI desktop. Original UI, user interface. You can extend all these tabs, data tab, visualization tab, filters tab. Now, few might also have a question that the visualization which I can see here towards right, I'm getting in the above window. Here, somewhere here I'm getting that. Wherever I'm highlighting the cursor right. Here I can see the visualization. Now, I'll not say anyone, if you have downloaded, if you have really installed, if anyone feels or if anyone is getting this visualization tab in the above bar, let me know. We will try to, I'll let you know that how do you get this. I would always suggest that visualization should be towards right of it. So download it, install it. Let's see how many people are getting that visualization in the above bar. Now we'll just discuss the UI, user interface of this Power BI. How does this look like? What each component is called? Just give me a moment. This is the user interface. I mean, I've taken a snapshot of it. So there are different names given to it. The names are, this is your data. Oh, why so big? Okay. So this is your data pane. You can call it as a data tab. This is your visualization tab. This is filters tab. For few of you, even filters tab would have not been visible. You can get it. We can make sure that filter tabs is visible, but you make sure that these three tabs are visible. You can expand it and you can compress it. You can expand and compress. But these three tabs are important tabs. Apart from these three, many tabs you can have it. I mean, you can access it, but you can close it at any point of time also. But these three tabs should be opened. Though if you're not using, you can collapse it. You can collapse it, expand and collapse. Right. So these three tabs, data, visualizations, and filters tab. These are called as tabs. The information which is present in the above bar, right? This particular above bar, this is called as a ribbon bar. Ribbon bar. Or you can call it as simply ribbon. Let's not go with the bar name, ribbon. Towards left, these are some icons, right? Few of you might get these two icons, few of you may not get these icons. Fine, we can get these icons again enabled. The options which you're not able to see, maybe at my point or at my condition, these options are visible in my desktop. Maybe in your desktop it is not visible. That doesn't mean you have downloaded wrong. These options are not defaultly available. You have to use some checkboxes. You have to select them once you download it. After you install also, you can still get them. There is nothing wrong in that, right? So these are tabs. The towards right above is the ribbon bar. Towards left also you will have tabs. These are called as views, different views. You can call it as a different view, right? You can call it as a different view. Why is it going behind? Okay. So the first one, this particular one is a report view. The first one. The first one is your report view. This one. And by default, you will be in the report view only. By default. It is, see, already you're part of it. Some green bar is there here, very small green bar. By default, you will be in the report view. The second one is your table or a data view. Table or a data view. This is your data tab. You will see how many tables have you connected to Power BI here. But what is the structure of a table can be viewed in the table view. And the last one is your model view. These two are additional views. These are not default views. Default, you will get 3. The last one is your model view. As a data analyst or as a reporting analyst or a BI analyst, you should model your data also. You should be equally good in modeling the data as well, right? So there is a model view as well. 3 views towards left. Report, data, or a table. You can call it as a table. And there is a model view. You can model your data also. Now we'll see how these tabs are important, but by default, you will be in this report view. By default, report is where you can create your KPIs. By default is your report view. And below, you can see there are 2 more icons here. This is your mobile development and this is your desktop development. By default, again, the green bar is the desktop view, right? Because you develop, you have downloaded Power BI desktop, right? You haven't downloaded mobile. But in the same desktop application, you want to create some reports which should be visualized in the mobile. You can create your mobile view applications or reports also here. Mobile view is also there, but if I just go to mobile view, it will be like a mobile only. See, it will be like a mobile. So this is desktop view. Let's go with desktop by default. We will try to take small examples of mobile view once you get a good exposure. And by default, see, mobile is just a view. All the other options remain same, right? So default should be desktop view. And towards right, you will get some options like zoom bar. There is a zoom bar here. Zoom in, zoom out. Let's make it to default, right? Fit to page. There is this option called as fit to page. You can use that fit to page option. And how to check which version of Power BI Desktop have you downloaded? Which version, right? In the ribbon bar, you have so many options which are available here. Like by default, it will be in the home tab. You have view tab, insert tab, modeling tab, optimize, help. If you just go to the help tab, there is this option called as about. About what? About the application which you have downloaded. Let me click on it. See, mine is April 25 version. April 25. And it is saying that it is 32. Ideally, it is 64, but it is saying that it is 32. Happens, right? Maybe some mismatch with my system and this application. That is the reason it is mentioning 32.
Some of the one I downloaded say 64 January 26.
Yeah, that's fine. 64 is the one which should be going with. Right now, 32-bit applications, your laptops are not supporting any 32 bits. Still, it is working. That means there is nothing wrong in that. Probably some mismatch, but this is the version which I'm using, and this is at April 25. Now the question is, you might have downloaded latest, or some people would have downloaded some 2 months back, 3 months back versions. Every month, Power BI gets some or other updates, some or other. I'm not sure every month they'll give you a very good update, but some or other small updates will be there. How to upgrade yourself? There is an option, update available towards right here. Next to that zoom bar, fit to page, you have an option called as update available right here. It is mentioned, update available. If you just click on that, it will be automatically updating the Power BI Desktop with the latest version. It will take some time to download the latest version. It will automatically install and it will adjust in the same application.
If this update available option it's not showing, it means it's already updated, no?
I would always say, see, if you're using your version of any -6 months, 3 months, 4 months, that's fine. If it is of more than 1 year or maybe more than 6 months, I would recommend you to update it. For me, update is required because it's almost more than 6 months, right? So I have to make it sure that I'm using anything from October, November, December, or January. Any of this application, any of this latest version should be fine. So any questions on the user interface? Any questions on the user interface? Now, as I've said, right, there are different components. How do you identify that which component is what? Now, if I discuss it now, it would be very confusing.
I have a question.
Steve.
See, when you click your home, you see on this new model, when I click on it, you see those. Oh, I see where they are. Okay, they were hiding on the side. Okay, got it. You know the data, the visualization, and the filter.
Okay, now see.
Okay, now everything makes sense. Good.
So if you are using this application, the user interface is something new, right? You have to just explore it. Now, I'm not saying that you for sure explore it. It will take some time. Fine. So anyways, we are going through each and every option, right? We'll do that. We'll go through that. So how to identify each and every component? Let's not target it today. I will discuss that what application is, what is this application? How do you use it? Maybe tomorrow's session that this is what is called as Power Query, this is what is called as Power View, this is what is called as Power Pivot. We'll try to analyze that. Right. So first understand the user interface, whatever basic components we discussed today. Remember the names, ribbon bar, filter page, or maybe filter tab, visualization tab, data tab. Again, if any one of you is getting this visualization tab in the above ribbon bar, do not worry. It is a common option. You can get it down. In some latest updates, they have made sure that visualization should go above, but you can come back to the original option, the original view where it should be, right? You can come back. There are options, right? So you shouldn't have a question that I've downloaded a wrong version. No. Hey, Monica, you have a question?
Oh, no, sorry.
So for now, whatever we discussed is about the user interface, right? So any questions on this and any questions on how do I download this PowerBI desktop? So a big silence and consider it as no. That means there are no questions.
Everything is good.
Well, cool. Maybe there would be some questions. Once you explore this, you would have many questions. So that's the part. Anyways, we are almost, good on time. We still have 6-7 minutes, but I'll keep this forum open for any questions related to this course. I'll let me highlight this course is of 4 months. Anyone who have joined today, we are starting with Power BI. We have completed SQL for this batch, but if you want to go through SQL sessions, we have 3 options available. Once we complete Power BI and Azure, we would again start with the SQL for a different batch. There you would be added to learn SQL, or you would be given pre-recorded sessions for this current batch which we completed, right? The SQL. You can go through them and you can practice. If you're not satisfied with that first option and the second option, which I've told you, you have third option. There are parallel batches of SQL going on. May not be continuously, but after every 1 or 2 weeks, a new batch would start for a data engineering, for a data scientist, or maybe Snowflake. Almost every batch has that SQL, and SQL is common across all these batches. Same skills, maybe same technical aspects would be declared there. You would be given an option to attend that SQL sessions also parallelly with a different batch. Either of them you can choose, right? Either in the sense you can choose all 3 also, which is good for you, you can go with that.
You say when you're gonna teach SQL again after Azure Cloud and Azure Data Factory?
Yep. All once we complete Power BI, once we complete Azure, then we would again start with the SQL with the same. Maybe if you want to continue with the same trainer, with me only, then it would be after these 2 technical skills.
I think it's better for me because the time manner, because I'm available at night. Over there, it's in the morning. So I'm in Canada, so that's why it's
Okay.
this. I think I'm gonna wait until you finish Azure, and then I can
Yep.
start the SQL. I'll be watching the recorded just in case to get familiar.
Sure. It's a way said, right? Options are open. Now, I'll again highlight one small point that if you want to access the recordings of the same sessions, right? You just visit our website. Just go to login option. Anyways, the first 5 sessions are pre-recorded and you can easily access on YouTube as well. This is streamed live on YouTube as well, right? Now, see here, once you click on login from the KSR Datavision, you will click on the login, it would open a new page. There is an option called as create a new account. If anyone doesn't have an account with us, you can create an account with your own personal email IDs, personal, like Gmail, Yahoo, Hotmail, whichever email IDs you have. You will get an OTP on that and you can continue using that, right? Once you can click on sign in with that same email ID and password, the personal email ID and password which I've mentioned. So this would open your dashboard, your account, right? Once you open, for few of you, you may not be able to see all these options. For me, it's many, there are many courses which I can access it parallelly. You have an option towards right, today's class, you can join from here. Or anyways, you just click on courses, go to upcoming sessions, or maybe you can go to free sessions. Let's not go to upcoming, anyways, this session is already started. Let's go to the free sessions. In this free sessions, you will have an option called as full stack Power BI. This option, the first one. I'm just seeing if there is any other option, let's not confuse. Yeah, the first option. You just have to click on it. Just click on access course. Oh, I still have a question mark. Let's see. Is it the one? Let me go to sessions. Yes. See, you just have to go to this courses, free sessions. The first option, the first bucket, click on access or enroll now. For the first 5 sessions, you want to access the previous recording. It would open that window. And by default, you folks would be in the modules tab. Modules is where you can check the previous batches recordings or YouTube recordings of the previous batches. There would be some components which I have practiced with respect to SQL, but you can go ahead, right? Just go to the sessions option. If you're in the modules, right here, that the UI is not that intuitive, or maybe sometimes you get confused, right? Because you're using for the first time. You just have to go to the sessions options. Here, you need to select full stack Power BI. You can access the previous batch recordings as well as the current. So you can mention the current one. You can mention the previous one. Yesterday's recording is already there. These are all previous recordings, but you can check the yesterday's recording. You can check today's, which is still live. So after post completion of this session, within next 25 to 30 minutes, or maybe maximum 45 minutes, the recording would be available. You can go through the recording.
Where's the recording for SQL, the one you already finished for 20 days?
Yeah, maybe you can check. This is not for this batch. These are all previous batches, but you can check. See, the way of explanation remains same. You can always explore that. And there is a course curriculum PDF, the first one, the course curriculum PDF in the course curriculum SQL free sessions. You can download what we are going through. Right, so all this information is publicly available. Now, as I've said, these are number of days which I would be going through, like minimum 20 sessions for SQL, what we say, minimum 35 sessions for Power BI, what we say. Our sessions are from Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. IST, 8 a.m. IST. Now, I see people, I have folks joining from Australia, I have folks joining from Europe, some European countries like Sweden and Poland, and a few folks from US as well. Right, so if anyone from the other geographical regions, 8 a.m. IST, you can change it to your own standard time. That would be the standard time what we will start with. 8 a.m. IST to 9:30 a.m. IST, 90 minutes, of which 70 minutes we would be having a discussion, 20 minutes a buffer for any other external discussion, maybe questioning. Right, now open for questions. If you still have any questions, please feel free.
Oh, yes, I do. SQL. I'm trying to look the session for SQL, the recorded session you said. But I'm going back all the way to April, but I don't see, like, it doesn't show, like,
This is a YouTube video, it seems.
you know,
Yes,
when you
but
go
wait.
to session instead of a module, when you click on session, so that's why the recorder sees.
Yeah, you just have to go to sessions, or maybe you can check from the SQL part here itself. In the modules also, you can check the YouTube videos. The modules also, and if you really want that SQL sessions, go ahead.
How many session of SQL? Is it 20 session?
20, minimum 20. I've covered 24, it seems. Minimum 20, we say that, but we cover most of the sessions.
Do you know which date by any chance?
For this particular batch you want to access, maybe in that case. I'm just saying that if there is the other option. Fair. So you have our contact, Steve, the
Yes, I
KSR
do.
team's contact. Okay. Can
Yeah,
you
the
please ping on
support.
that WhatsApp number that I want to access this batch previous SQL sessions? They'll definitely help you. How do we access? There are different ways. For this particular batch you want to access, yeah, you can just go back and ping them. For sure, they'll reach out to you.
Okay, cool. I'll send an email to support.
Yep.
Hi, Ritesh.
Hey, Ritu, go ahead.
Hi, good morning. So, Ritesh, I have one question. Maybe I'm like you can say I'm little early to this question, but it just comes up, so I thought to ask you. So, actually, we have completed the SQL, right? Now we are into the Power BI. So I just wanted to see a example, if you can show me any example where we are preparing a project using the SQL. Like we need to prepare the project now in Power BI using SQL. So if you can show any examples that how the data comes when we are working, the first data how it comes and how we are modifying and doing the
See,
project.
in this SQL, I mean, anyways, you have asked it upfront, and I'll answer it in the upfront also. You have an
Mhm.
option called as get data in the ribbon bar. Now, are these the only data sources which you can connect? No, you have many, right? You have a more options here.
Mhm.
So if you want to connect any of your SQL, right? SQL is your databases. So you have all your databases. What all databases you can connect? These are all the databases which you can connect to Power BI. As I've said, Power BI has 100 plus connectors. If you're into all options, these are all the 100 plus connectors. These are sub options. You can say subdivisions. Okay, only related to database. Now, whichever database you want. Maybe ours was a MySQL. So you have MySQL database. You just click on connect. It would ask you the server name and database name. My bad. What it has opened. Let me open that again. MySQL database. Click on connect. It would open a window where it will ask you the server name and database name. You can mention the server and database name, whatever server and database you have. And then maybe if you want a SQL statement to be written, like you only want a particular table to be called with a select statement or maybe some view or a CT, you can write that query here. Or else it is optional, right? It is not compulsory. If you only mention server and database, it will list down all the schemas which are available, all the tables which are available. Then you can connect. Now, this is for MySQL. Same is the case for any other database. Maybe you want to connect to SQL Server, right? You just have to click on SQL Server database. It will ask you what kind of option you want, whether import or direct query. These options are common. Server and SQL, I mean the database name, and then you click on OK. It would give you the list of all the tables. We'll try to take that example, right? I mean, without connecting data, we cannot proceed further. That's the first step. So we would be seeing that.
Okay. So, just one more thing that when we are working, for an example, today is my first day in Power BI role. So, I'll get the data first from the client side that this is the data where you need to do the modifications like the filtrations. Like it's a raw data and I need to arrange it with the help of the SQLs, and then
Yes.
I need to convert or like work with the Power BI, right? So
Yes.
how that data, the raw data, when it is coming to me, how it's look like first thing, and how we will take the help of the SQL to sanitize the data, modify the data, and then working on it. So
Fair. Now, see, a database might have 10, 12 tables. It is not always that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tables would be the 10, 12, or maybe more than that. Maybe a database can have 500 tables also. The question is, if you connect, see, okay, 500 tables are there, accepted. But you are only working on 4 tables, 4 important tables you're working on. But of all these 4 tables, every table has some 20K records. It is not important that you should call all these tables, take an import, take a copy of all these 4 tables to Power BI, right? Why to call that? We know that only few columns from few tables, like maybe 1 or 2 tables, I want only few columns, the other 2 tables, I want all the columns. You can list down that columns with the help of select statement, or you can create a CT or a view. With that query, you can run it in the SQL if it is looking good for you. On top of it, you want to create a visual, right? With that data, you can mention that CT or a view here, and then you can connect. Rather having a full, see, you can take full table import also to Power BI, but it is not recommended, right? Why to have that burden on Power BI if you're not using all the columns, not all the data, right? Whichever data is important, you can filter it out with the help of where condition, having condition, group by, whatever you want, you can do it in the query part. So that is what you have to do it in SQL, and then you connect it to Power BI. You have
means
that option to connect all tables.
okay, okay. So a client will specify that what they are actually looking for. They
Yes.
will give us the raw data. They'll give us the idea that what they are looking for. We need to sanitize that and arrange it with the help of the SQL, and with the help of the Power BI, we need to make it visualizations and everything, right?
Yes. Yes. That's what the idea is.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks, Ritesh. Got it.
Hi, Ritesh.
Okay.
This is Nilofer. So, this is my very first class for Power BI, and I have not gone through the SQL classes. So, I have a query that should I finish the SQL classes, or can I go with the Power BI live classes and later I can learn the SQL?
So you can later learn SQL. SQL is not compulsory for Power BI, but if you know, it would be good advantage. Fine, you can still go through it. See, as I've said, there are 3 options available: recordings, and I'm not
Okay.
saying that only one of them is there. If you're not satisfied with this, go with the second option: parallelly attend any other SQL batch with the other batches if there are some live batches going on. Or once you complete Power BI and Azure, then the new batch will start with the same trainer with me. Then you can attend. Anyone you can choose. If you're not satisfied with all 3, then you have to wait for the new batch. That option is again. I mean, anyways, it's open for you, right? So I'm not saying that it is for sure you need to know SQL. I'll anyways at whatever point of time in Power BI, if I say that this is something similar to SQL, I'll explain that feature so you can easily guess it or grasp it.
Okay, okay. So, it is okay to learn Power BI first then, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. So I am taking the recording classes, so actually I'm unable to join the live classes. So if in case I have any kind of queries regarding the work, so can I just note it down and ask you in the next class?
Yeah, you can. Right. That's what. And okay, one thing. Once you enroll for the sessions, you would be a WhatsApp group is created for the batch of SQL batch. There is already a group created. You would be part. You will be added to that particular group. Anytime you can ask a question in that.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
So, Ritesh, when you say the SQL for data analytics batch open, which how do you know which batch is open, and where do you find that?
Now I am sure that there is no parallel batch going on in 1 or 2, maybe in next to 10 days also. On 27th, we would be starting with the data engineering. 27th or 28th, I missed that particular date. There you would be starting with SQL. So in that case, you can attend that batch as well for the SQL part.
Okay,
I mean, team will give you more clarity on it. Yeah, let's not worry. Team will give you more clarity on it. Any other
Thank
questions?
you.
Okay, now, Satish, are you there? If you're there, maybe can you unmute yourself? I just need a help on how do we access that payment part.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, Ritesh. This is Gopi here.
Hey, Gopi. Yeah, Gopi. I just need your help in understanding the payment part and what would be the fee structure, right?
Okay. I think the page is not created or not. Let me check.
Yep.
If you go to the
Yes.
paid sessions,
Yeah, I
you
am
can see
into
the
paid.
Power BI.
The one,
Yeah,
this
this
one, right?
one. Yes,
Yeah.
correct. Click on it. Yeah, go down.
You just
Right.
have an option.
Click on it.
So it's not the full stack.
No, this is the same one. The icon is different. This is for SQL. We started with SQL on 5th of Jan, right? So the window which you're trying to see, the icon, it's for SQL, but this would be upgraded. It's full stack only. Okay, now you have options here. This is from the website point of view if you want to make a payment in Indian rupees, right? This is in Indian rupees. Anyways, if you're from out of India, it would be auto converted, but that option is already available. If you want to make offline payments, offline doesn't mean cash. If you're transferring it to a bank or maybe a UPI, not by website, even that option is available. Okay, Gopi, can you please let us know that if they want to make a one single payment, two installments, and three installments, what would be the original fee structure in that case? That one single payment, two installments, and three installments.
Okay. If they want to pay a single installment, it should be around 30,000. If they want to pay for the two installments, you can pay that 32,000.
So that would be somewhere around 1616.
16.
Uh,
If they want to pay three installment, and it should be 33,000.
okay, so that would be 11 plus 11 plus 11.
Plus 11. It is for the phone pay or Google Pay amount.
So if you want to make a payment using a card, go with the website. The other options, UPI is also there, but if you want to make offline, right? Maybe offline in the sense you want to transfer it to bank or maybe UPI, in that case, you can connect with our team. Any other questions? But if you still have any other questions, we are almost out of time, right? It's 15 minutes more. You can note it down. And this, I mean, today is Friday, right? So we would connect back on Monday again to the third session, right? We would like to continue on the third session and that Monday again. Monday, 8 a.m. IST time. For the folks in US, it would be Sunday evening, right? Or maybe folks in Australia, it would be Monday afternoon. So consider that way, 8 a.m. Indian Standard Time is our session time, 8 to 9:30 a.m. IST. Cool. And assuming that there are no questions, if you still have, feel free to reach out to our team. You can directly call our team. If you visit our website, right, you'll get a list of contact numbers you can connect with. If you just scroll down, right, you will get a list of, or maybe you have a contact option also available here. Or you can raise a callback request. Either of them would reach out to you from our team, right? You just click on contact also. The contact numbers are mentioned here. Fair? Almost out of time, but that's fine. If you still have any questions, feel free to write it down. Let's connect back on Monday. We will try to answer your questions Monday again. Thank you, everyone. Hope you have a very good weekend ahead, and let's connect back on Monday. Thank you.
All right, have a
Thank
good
you.
weekend.
Thank you, everyone.